Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. On today's program, Delta State records a new case of Lassa fever. Support for industrialists is called for by a former head of state. And the Ogun State government repositions its agriculture sector for profit. Thank you so much for joining us on News Across Nigeria today. We begin in the health sector. A serious cause for concern. The viral hemorrhagic fever, popularly known as Lassa fever, has resurfaced in Delta State in the south part of the country. The Delta State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Nicholas Azinge, told Channels Television of a confirmed case of a medical practitioner who owns a hospital in Asaba. He died at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital 3 hours after being admitted. Now, a blood sample from that victim was sent to the Institute of Lassa Fever in Nerua, which was confirmed to be positive. 32 people, including the doctor's wife, have been placed under surveillance, while the hospitals he visited have been disinfected.
18th of August, we had a case report from a doctor of ours working in Bon, who was admitted in a hospital in Bonsac with symptoms of fever, headache, and bleeding from his orifice. The patient was not able to be taken care of at the hospital in Bonsac and was transferred to Nnamdi Azikiwe Hospital in Newi. Patient was confirmed certified dead a couple of hours on arrival. Blood samples taken from the patient to Irua confirmed positive for Lassa fever. So far, the immediate contacts of the patients who will classify, of the doctor, will classify into three. One is the immediate contacts, which are as follows. The driver that drove him to Newi has been put under quarantine, and the wife of the doctor. Fortunately, the wife of the doctor's samples have been taken to Irua, and she is confirmed negative. The rest of the people under contact and surveillance right now are the people in the hospital where he was admitted in Bonsac, and the people within his house where he lived, and his hospital in Umuaji. These two hospitals, the hospital in Umuaji and the hospital in Bonsac, has been shut down for fumigation and disinfection. So we are now trying to get a list of all the patients he saw, because he owned a private hospital in Umuaji, and we have to get a list of all the patients that had visited him in the last few weeks, and also the place where he lived in his house. We have not been able to find any contact of who could have been sick.
Channels Television will keep you updated on this discovery of a new case of Lassa fever in Delta State. Elsewhere, the former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, has lent his voice to those calling for the restructuring of the country, although he says it should not be done along ethnic or regional lines. General Gowon, who is also the convener of a group called Nigeria Prays, told Channels Television after an interdenominational prayer session that he would not support any call for cessation from any part of the country. The former head of state added that in line with the focus of the group, which seeks to promote peace and unity, the plight of internally displaced persons requires the attention of all Nigerians.
we're here to pray for Nigeria so that God can intervene in most of the problems that we have, which you have mentioned. And as we pray, we only don't pray for the good things to be done, but we also have to act it, to play our part to ensure the attainment of that peace, of that law and order, and doing things correctly. Now, you talked about the IDPs. When I hear people say all the, say the food and things that was sent there, usually, they are shortchanged by those who are working and taking them and reselling them for their own benefit. Now, that is criminal, and such people really should be brought to book. But this is the sort of thing that Nigerians must not do. You've got to think of the well-being of others, not of yourself. And such a thing is really not bad. Now, and I hope all Nigerians will try to live a godly, righteous life, always being each brother's sister's keeper.
Former Nigerian head of state General Yakubu Gowon. Another former head of state is also speaking out, but this time concerning the economy. The current economic situation in the country makes it imperative for governments at all levels to look inwards in order to boost revenue. This is the view of General Abdulsalami Abubakar while on a tour of some industries in Nnewi, Anambra State in the southeast. The general commended the entrepreneurial spirits of the industrialists in the cluster and urged them not to relent in the face of daunting challenges.
So unfortunately, Nigeria is not an island to itself. All over the world, there is economic recession, and that is what is affecting us in this country. Let us all join hands, regardless, in governments, in private, as individuals, to see how we can resuscitate our economy. And like I say, in which I have seen the basis how we can do that. And I hope other Nigerians will come and see what is happening here so that they can emulate this industrialization, so that they can go back to their states. From all the companies I visited today, the least number of people employed there is 3,000. And I think if we can replicate this, certainly we'll bring employment into the country. I want to congratulate all the industrialists I visited today for what they are doing.
Former Nigerian head of state General Abdulsalami Abubakar. And now to the South and concerning the judiciary and legal issues. The president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Augustine Alege, is not happy with the rising number or the current number of conflicting judgments coming from the courts. He gave his position at the ongoing conference of the Nigerian Bar Association in Port Harcourt. The annual conference has in attendance over 5,000 participants from the bar and the bench. You're watching News Across Nigeria on Channels Television. Coming up, in Kwara State, there was the recent issue of illegal recruitment of teachers. We'll be talking about the fallout of that issue with the Commissioner of Education in that state. Please stay with us.